Right. Hello, people. I'm already on here. Yeah, going live. Boom. Right. So we've got basically this is the situation. 24 million people in lockdown. Okay, and we've got I don't know. Really, can that happen last time I did whatever that is. Well, 20. Forget it anyway. Well, 24 million people in lockdown in a postcodal lockdown. Okay, there's 6 digits in a postcodal lockdown. 24 plus 6. Sorry, 24 plus 6 equals 30. The next full moon is on the 30th of December. Okay. If we go to America, we're on the 6th, but let's keep it home first of all, and let's keep it global, universal, and with the intellect and soul of every being on the planet. So, therefore, we're into the 30th of December. The bigger thing that I want to talk about is our progression down this, let's call it the, and let's say that there's lots of technology that has yet to come forth. So, with the second word in it being tech or technology, is how we use this technology to. We've already got like wearables. I think it's Mr. Pike, somebody like him, David Deutsch. That's his name. He says the wearables, and then they want inside your body. Do you know what I mean? No. On the long term, from one perspective that I've been thinking about spiritually, is that basically with the more natural you get and the more healthy you get on the long kick down the line, the less we will need these things to actually reverse something that was already initiated way back in the past. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So we want to eradicate this out of a long kick. You can't just be thinking in a year or 4 months. Do you know what I mean? Which we're looking at 4 months, April into March. Let me explain anyway. Okay. So the first word is bio. Okay. No, I mean I said bio, yeah. So biology, yeah. Okay, in the and then we have the letter N, yeah. And we all know what that means. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, no, having anything put in your body that cannot be taken out is a crime. If you cannot, therefore, state in the court of law that whatever got put into you could not be taken. It's like getting bitten by a snake, say, yeah, and they've got the antidote, and they don't give you the antidote for getting bit by a snake. Okay. On the long kick, yeah, because there's underlying health problems with people. So some people will be sifted through the system and added to this. This is the I'm against and I'm for. This is the long argument against it. Yeah, is that we use diagnostics. It's 99.7, so 99 doesn't make it perfect. So it's 3%, and then they flip the result and say, well, they're 95% there. 95%, yeah, if you put something in us that can take things out of us for the new technology that we have. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it has been there for a long time. Do you know what I mean? It's not just people think that we just tune into these laptops or phones. Do you know what I mean? We don't. Look at somebody in it. Go and look at an operating theatre. Do you know what I mean? With our NHS, we've just best bad as well. £249 billion pumped into for a massive upgrade. Do you know what I mean? Because health is wealth and wealth is health. Do you know what I mean? It's simple. We have to have a workforce, and we have to have, even if we have got AI within it and that's got loads of variables and loads of ideas, a lot of them are going to go mad and not fit the narrative of a sustainable and futurable thing within an infrastructure. Do you know what I mean? It's like build a car for me, and it'll come out with billions of different cars. Do you know what I mean? You can put the variables into the road, it still come out with billion different cars. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, so man is never going to be out running that way. Yeah. The long kick is we're looking at our children, because I've said before, look at the little shoes on the floor when you go in, especially in the UK, and you see our distance 6 6. Like, ooh, terrible number. Yeah, it makes 12 astrological signs. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I stay 2 meters. The person next to you, if you got the letter 2, just put 2 in the 2 back to back, you get swans, it makes a heart. Okay. That's it. You can't begin with cards and stuff like that. It's esoterical stuff, but it's all there. So that's on the back flip. So that's the big, we know military, and I think it was, I've mentioned this before. I think, let me just get this straight now. I think it was Prince Charles said, think military. And Boris Johnson said, think morally, so morally, military, and stick by the rules as well. Boris said, I did have another little note written down there, written down, terrible English, written down there. But at the end of the day, we had morals, military. Oh, and I've already forgot the other one, see, because morals, military. Let's say Erasmus values, love. We're going on that one now, okay? There's too many variables. We have to choose on a positive, plausible, but variable, people. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, this is the long kick. I've got things to say about it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not in the best of health. I'm trying, but a lot of these things have to be come out and said because, like, do you know, like 1984 and dystopia, and where you think people can see into the future. I'm not a false prophet. I'm not any this. These things already exist. I just connect the dots together in a different way, which is a bit of a shortcut as well. Do you know what I mean? To where we can see things a bit like as I say, a bit like David. Like, well, I'm just a humble geezer anyway. I'm always humble underneath my creator. Do you know what I mean? He shows me these things, and putting them together is. A lot of people say it's a spiritual awakening. It's hard to put together. It's fascinating for me to see, actually. Do you know what I mean? I've seen a lot of teleological principles come out of it, which still have to be based upon law, and they are coming out. I mean, at the end of the day, there's lots of spiritual law that we have to abide by and obviously move in. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of this cybernetics, which is plasma. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're made out of plasma as well, believe it or not. Do you know what I mean? There's plasma that travels through as a dark energy, and that we don't know yet. This is what this stuff is. It's what your plasma screen, your plasma TV. So you're looking at that, and it's looking into you, but it's also in the universe at the same time. So we have an effect on these molecules and all these interactions that we have in everything. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And we know this because of the state of how we're going on at the moment within this video. Do you know what I mean? You know, where I think I've made the fact that as we travel on through incremental steps that look like totalitarianism are basically social behavioralism, can I say? You know, it's like atavism begins here. Yeah. It's not until you unleash something on a computer or speak your own mind that they can, let's say us, can try and put you in a box or say, well, this man's right wing or this man's left wing or this person's opinions are this or this person's, rather than, as we say, we're losing in the, I won't say we're losing it because we can still zoom in that, but the aesthetics to share our Taurus fields and Horus fields with each other. The ones who, some of us who have gone like, you know, a bit Tom O'Leary, a bit Tom Wolfe down that road, you know what I mean, with the Rocket Man, can bounce back and then give back on this long-term thing that's going on rather than. So when we say we're running out of time, we're running out of time on lots of ways to get information out that we've already lived, people. Do you know what I mean? There's a few of us that have lived in minority. I mean, I've been with my ex-partner for 15 years, you know, and there's a lot of misogyny and stuff going around like that, you know. I've had my own battles along the way on it, but 15 years is a long time, you know. I can't see, when we look at the worst of culture or what social services hone in on, let me say, what they call them, single moms or young moms, compared to the glitz and glamour at the top. Really, the scale's not that different. Do you know what I mean? It's love that connects it all, you know, which is Erasmus, I think. Austerity was a different video, but we'll carry on, okay? Austerity last week meant to do not care. I think they've changed it and altered it. Depends where you look. Erasmus means to love. So what did Boris Johnson go and do? He only sent love to Nicola Sturgeon. I don't know whether she's having fish cake for tea or what, but we'll find out. So he sent her love, knowing that we were going to do this Erasmus deal, which was love, which is based on our, I think it might be in the document, actually. It's called Erasmus, the document. So yeah, love trans everything. And it's about being peaceful, mild-mannered. I've seen a lot of breakthroughs go in saying that kids can actually learn to fly an airplane. Do you know what I mean? If we're 737 at an hour out of work, do you know what I mean? And be those kind of people, do you know what I mean, in the future, which sounds great because at least we've got role models within our, what they'd like to call council estates here and there, Great Britain, you know. We wouldn't want to head to the ghetto now, would we, HR, you know? So, yeah, that's what I see. But Erasmus love, and as we go back, moral military, we're playing the long kick here. If we can get enough information out there through the media that says this is a moral and military task, and there's some of the diagnostics I think I've picked up on Independent Sage. And by the way, people at independentsage.com, they're independent as well, and they need your funding. Otherwise, we're competing with the world on this. We're 95% away from something. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. So at Independent Sage, it gives us an outsider's view then, or an independent view that is further scoped again, which is another level or deeper level to the matrix, a bit like a matrix. Do you know what I mean? It's a way to observe something that's already been observed, that's been observed, that's global. So, yeah, get on to that at Independent Sage. See what you think. Don't get freaked out. Do you know what I mean? It's not mandatory. This means it's a Tory mandate at present. We would call it politically in our day and age, just to use words, but not mix words. Do you know what I mean? Because certain words mean different meanings in different contexts. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, don't get too freaked out about it. Do you know what I mean? If you do have it, that's your decision. It's up to you. But I think if you do your research is a large part of what we're trying to educate as well. I think on a larger scale, just on a larger scale, it's called social re-engineering, to do your own homework about COVID-19, and you think you got all the symptoms and that. Do you know what I mean? It's then logs into your app. Do you know what I mean? Talking our interaction with other people. It's like, do you think you've got a fever and that? And we're getting our natural things mixed up with digital, because we're having to communicate through digital, and there's a lot of information through digital rather than our natural way of being, which is just inquisitive. Do you know what I mean? Because we're philosophers, all of us seek knowledge. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just how we get that knowledge out quick enough. We got scientists. I think scientists was something I spotted on mainstream media, and now pushed ahead. Scientists, you'll try my drink or something. I've got one. Yeah, scientists have took the forefront in this next, because obviously we're going through a behavioural stage. Do you know what I mean? If you look at our incremental steps of the police, it looks totalitarian, yeah. But at the end of the day, we're backed up and backed up. It's like put a bet with a policeman, you wouldn't, would you? Unless you looked at the bigger picture. Do you get what I'm saying? You know? So you got your dog at a riot or at a peaceful protest. Do you know what I mean? Or atavistic protest, just turning up. Do you know what I mean? Keeping your mouth shut and just walking on to wherever you go. And when you get wherever you get to, when you go, you keep your mouth shut again. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, because you don't want to give people evidence before, you know, you're guilty and proven innocent. So you're not innocent, you're guilty. As soon as you open your mouth, you're guilty. Freedom of speech. So you keep your mouth shut and do the silent, atavistic march. Do you know what I mean? It's like the blind leading the blind. I really am. At Torrent Finder, I'll give you a shout out. Okay. It looks like the blind following the blind, but I can see other things. Let's say COVID-19 gets reviewed every 2 weeks, people. Okay. Now, come on. You know, I'm not going to tell you my situation, but I know it's educated. You know, it's just that moral etchings. I'm trying to take him on as well. I think it's chapter 3 of his book. But there's things that we have to do. Like, look at my police video. There's a longer kick in this. It's like we need more ideas how to teach our children earlier. We're not grooming our children, but this is basically a spiritual war as well. Do you know what I mean? We know what threats there are. You know, and it's an info war. But truth always wins, and being happy always wins as well. Do you know what I mean? Think back if we think of happy. Do you know what I mean? Happy talk, and then I'm HAPP boy when I'm on NHS and that. It's like this folkloric link that connects vets to police. Do you know what I mean? If it was some kind of disease, then the animals would have caught it. Do you know what I mean? That what connects our whole lineage back into how our whole establishment works. Do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So when you say it's bullshit, it's like, hold on, wouldn't all the animals be dead if there was something happening that was dead serious? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And the answer is yes. Yeah. And we've seen things like what was in the other day, you know, avian flu, and then snapshot, and these things get through. 2 + 2 never makes 5. So question more things. Yeah, I definitely need to think. Right, so I'm going off track anyway. What was the perception? That was it. The long kick. Look at the long kick, people. Before you have any, or you got to think about biology. You got to think about technology. I think that's what is going on here. We have to research, think more analytically, stay connected through our apps to make us alert that everybody's happy, everybody's sound, and you know, we're not getting pushed or bullied into something that needs political change first of all, and we come out of Brexit. Do you know what I mean? And we come out of the European Union. That gives the people more power. Do you know what I mean? Oh, not power, more say or more access or interaction. Do you know what I mean, with local authorities and stuff like that, to actually work together and actually find jobs in these local authorities. Do you know what I mean? Local authorities serve the locality that you live in, so it's these kind of things that we might be looking for in that. So there's me pink lighter. You know what I mean? Pink's very big at the moment, isn't it? Colour pink. You know? So that's off the mammalian brain. From an alien brain for your perginum, for your perineum, for your perpendicular back, into your pineal gland, into pink mass, into pink clouds in the sky cosmically. So yeah, and then these are my new mittens. They're the way I get in programming or seeing kitten programming somewhere, and a new threat that I've seen. But we'll see what happens on that. People stay safe, man. Okay. It's a strange world, not a mad world.